This is Amud Yomi Gemara and Berachos Daf Nun Aleph Amud Aleph. We're holding on the top of Nun Aleph Amud Aleph. We're 4 lines down. We just finished learning that Yemale Pi Tila Secha, that when you make a bracha, your mouth has to be full with the bracha. You can't have anything in your mouth, and that's the reason why Lechatzchila, you remove everything from your mouth unless it is something disgusting, then you can remove it to one side. Says the Gemara, Mi sha'achal v'shasa v'loy barich. Someone who ate and drank, but he forgot to make a bracha rishayna. He had a drink and he didn't make a sha'akal. Ma'u sheyachser v'yavarech, should go back and make the sha'akal before he continues to drink. Amar lahu, Rav Chisda responds, Mi sha'achal shob. You ate garlic, your breath stinks. More garlic. You forgot to make a bracha, but now if you're going to continue eating, of course, you should make a new bracha. Said Rav Chisda, I don't understand what your question is. So Amar Ravina explains Ravina Holkach. Afilu Gamar Sudasai. So said Ravina, based on what you just said, even if you finished a meal, Yachsav Yavarich, you should go and make a bracha. The Tani Tav, if one went to the mikvah and came up, Omer Baliyasai, he should say when he comes out of the mikvah, Baruch Shekshon Sano Ala Tvila. We see, seemingly, that even if you forgot to make a bracha beforehand, you make it afterwards. Says Gemara V'Lahi, it's not the same. Hasamei Kara Gavrloi Chazi. When you're going to the mikvah, before you go into the mikvah, you're not able to make a bracha. And therefore, the only moment you can make a bracha is after you go and do taival, and that's the reason why you make the bracha afterwards. Over here, you're able to once you missed the bracha, you missed the bracha. Says the Gemara, but of course, if you're going to continue eating, then avada you do. Then avada you make the bracha for that which you're going to continue eating. Says the Gemara, Tanur Abanan, once we're on the topic of different brachas to make, the 2 dots, about 13 lines down, is Pargus. Pargus is good for the heart, good for the eyes. And certainly for the intestines. You drink a lot of Aspargus. It's good for your body. If you get drunk from it, then it's bad. Says the Gemara, the fact you told me it's good for the heart. We're dealing with asparagus made with wine. That's why it's good for the heart. And yet it says certainly it's good for the intestines. Lilat yafe. But it says that asparagus with wine is beneficial for la'at, which Rashi says is Rosh Teva is leiv, ayin, and chol, heart, eyes, and spleen. L'ramat kasha. But for the roish, for the me'ayim, the intestines, and for the hemorrhoids, it's bad. So it sounds like that if it's made with wine, it's not good for the intestines. Answers the Gemara, Kitanihi b'miyushan, aged wine, then it's different. Kiditznan, as we learned in a Mishnah, koinem yayin, if someone made a neder from wine, shani time he's not going to drink wine, shayayin kashal neme'ayim. Why? Because wine is bad for his intestines. Amr lai, and when they hear him make the neder, they say to him, Alom yushan yafehu libnei. But old wine is good for your intestines. Vishaski was quiet. Also, and by his silence, he's acquiescing that it's true. He's only ulcer in that which is bad for the intestines. Shema Mina, we learn from here the same type of thing, that it's only going to be aged wine will be, well, a new wine will be the issue, but aged wine would indeed be good for the intestines. Tanu Rabbana on 10 lines from the white lines, the 2 dots. Shisha Dvarim Nemar B'Aspargus, continuing the theme. 6 things about Aspargus. Don't drink it unless it's made with undiluted wine, chai, and a full cup. Mekabel B'Yamin. Number 2, you take it with your right hand, v'shais b'smal, and drink it with your left hand. Number 3, don't drink afterwards. Don't talk while drinking it. Number 4, give it back to one who gave it to you. Number 5, you have to spit afterwards. And number 6, you can only supplement it, you can only have more of it with its own kind. Ask the Gemara Vatanya, but we learned that you can only supplement it, something you eat with it is with pas. So why are you telling me with its own kind you could do as well? Says the Gemara, similar to what we saw before, like Hashem, if it's made with wine, then it indeed needs bread as a supplement. But it's made with beer, then itself is the supplement. Tani Chada. We learned in one brisa 4 lines from the medium-sized lines. You learned in one brisa lilat yafeh, that asparagus is good for lilat, lev, ayin, etchol, heart, eyes, and spleen. Liramat kosher, before the Roish, for the me'ayim, and for the tachtoniyos, for the head, the intestines, and the hemorrhoids is bad. V'taniduch, on a different price, it says hafach. L'ma'at yafel kasha. So how do we reconcile this tira in this brisa? Says the Gemara, 2 lines from the medium-sized lines. Loi kasha ha b'dechamra. It's made with wine, then it's good for la'at, levayin, and tchol. Whereas ha b'deshechra, it's made with beer, then it's good for the ramat. Tani Chada, continues the Gemara on the last narrow line. Rakach Rav, like if you spit after drinking this, it harms you. Tani Dochlei Rakach Rav, like if you don't spit afterwards, it'll be harmed. Like Kasha, the Chamra, if it's made from wine, then it's bad to spit. But the Shechar is made with beer, then it's good. Ravashi, Amr Rakach Rav, like, and now you just told me if you don't spit afterwards, it's going to be harming you. Meimam Nizrakin, if you live with Nea Melech, it's water, the saliva in one's mouth after drinking. This asparagus should be spit even when one is standing before a king. Why? Because it will damage you if not. Says the Gemara, continuing this theme of this asparagus, this interesting drink that we a bit are segueing in to discuss. The truth is we should take a half a moment. We should mention what exactly is this. Rashi, the Mefarshim, explain it's wine or beer with cabbage. And this is a type of therapeutic, medicinal drink. They would drink in the morning in an empty stomach, etc. And of course, as we've always mentioned with these type of Gemaras, we more just try to get the simple pshat, the simple words, even though not necessarily can we fully appreciate it without knowing fully what these drinks are, etc. Continues the Gemara in the second medium-sized line. Amar Rav Yishmael ben Elisha. Teaches Rav Yishmael ben Elisha, Shosh Dvarim Sachli Surreal Sara Panim. Surreal, the Sara Panim, which is a certain malach who has very close access to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is part of the Meiser Merkava. He told me, Al tipol chalucha b'shachos miyan Hashem b'tzilbash. Do not take your shirt from the shamish and get dressed in the morning. The butler should give you the shirts. Rather, should take it from yourself, take it by yourself and put it on. Do not have your hands washed from someone that didn't wash their hands yet. And do not give a cup of asparagus only to the one who gave it to you. Because of tichsifis, which is a type of shade, a type of demon. And others say is tal ganish al malchei chabalos. It's tal, a different type of shade, who is the head, who is the malchei chabala. He was waiting for a person and saying, he must have other liday. When will a person do one of these things, whether it means getting dressed from someone handing you the shirt, whether it means being washed by someone who didn't have his hands washed, or returning the cup to someone else, and he will damage you. On a similar thing, the Malach HaMaves told us a few things, 8 lines down. Says if Yeshua ben Levi, another like we just saw, when he dressed in the morning, the Shamish should not hand you the shirt. You should have your hands washed by someone who did not wash their own hands. Do not stand in front of the woman when they're on the way back from a funeral. Why? Mibnei, says the Satan, I dance in these situations. I'm ready to kill. I have my sword drawn. And in such a scenario, the Satan has free reign. Says the Gemara, what happens if you have one of these situations? What do? Jump 4 amos from your place. If there's a river, jump across the river. If there's another road, go to the other road. And if there's a wall, go to the other side of the wall. These are all things that happens if the women are passing from a funeral. And the Malach HaMavet just taught us that he's dancing with them. And he has his sword and it's dangerous. So either you run away, you jump across the road, you jump across the river, jump behind the wall. The lie, unless you can't do any of these things, what do? Lahadarape, turn your face, Valema, Vayomer Hashem al Satan Yigar Becha, Ad Cholfi Minei, until the Satan passes by. Says the Gemara Rav Zir Rav Avua, going back to Koshal Bracha, 10 lines from the white lines. The two das, Rami Labi Masnita, Tana, Asada, Devarim, Namra Koshal Bracha, 10 things are said about a Koshal Bracha. Number 1, Tana Adachi, you have to wash it, Ushtifa, and rinse it. And all of these things came out of Bratla Alacha. Some of them are Mailois in a Kais, to not li Kuva, but all should be done nonetheless, if possible. So number 1, you want to wash the cup. Washing. Number 2, shtifa, rinsing. We'll see what the difference between these are. One's going to be with the wine. Chai, it should be undiluted, mali, full, itur, crown the cup, Concise around it. If you eat off, cover the cup, and if you pick it up with 2 hands, but nice to be a minute, and you put it in your right hand, it should be at least a tefach off the ground. But nice to be in a bind, you also want to look at it while making the bracha Berachos 51a. Number 11, if someone sends it as a gift to the people of his house, you should do that, meaning you should share the Kaishal Bracha. Rav Yochanan in Lanu, we do not have to do all 10. Ela Arba Bilvad Adachashiva Chai U'Malei. So says the Gemara, what are these things? Tana, we learned in a Bryce. Hadacha, what is washing mi bifnim? Is you wash the inside of the cup. Ushtifas mi bachutz, you wash the outside of the cup. This, of course, where the practice comes that many people rinse out their cup before making kiddush. Kaishal Bracha. Rav Yochanan Kol Bracha Al Kol Ismali V'Kol Bracha Al Kol Ismali Nosla Nachala B'Li Mitzarim. You get boundary, you get bracha without boundaries. An heritage, Shanamar Moli Berachos Hashem Yam V'Darim Yirash. And this is important, that of course you want to have a kais male, but we're seeing over here it's a maila in a kais al bracha. It's a beautiful thing. However, it's not liikuva if your kais is not full. Eater, what does it mean? Crowning? He would put talmidim around himself when he benched. Rav Chisda Matzle ben Natzle, who would put cups around the wine while benching. Amar Rav Chananu b'chaya, pure wine. And Rav Sheshes Berachos Haaretz, and by Berachos Haaretz, that is when it should be crowned. That's when you should have the cups around it. Itov, what does it mean? That cover the cup. Rav Matev Yosef would cover himself and bench. Rav Asi Bar Sudra Al Reishi would put a scarf in his head, and of course this is where it comes from, to wear a jacket, to wear a hat while benching. No, if you take the guys with 2 hands, Amar Rav Chanina Bar Papa, my Karas, you lift with your hands in the plural, and you bless Hashem, and nicely many put in your right hand. Rishonim Shalu, originally the earlier ones asked, Samal Maush at Seli Amin. When you're holding it in your right hand, is your left hand allowed to help you steady the kais? Says the Gemara Marvashi, they didn't have an answer. As we turn over to the Nalv and Beis, Anan never l'chumra. We are machmir, and you should not support the cup with your left hand. And we finish with number 9. Amar Acha B'Rav Chanina, my Kara, what's the pasuk? Because Yeshua says of Shem Hashem Ekra, that you want to raise up the cups, which should be at least a tefach off the ground. Why you don't want to have your mind wander from the kodesh even a moment. We'll stop over here and we'll pick it up from here as we'll finish the parak in the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.